Fix yourself, 3 words that can either feel like an insult or a breakthrough. Ever felt like life was closing in on you, like you're doing everything you can, but nothing's clicking? A quiet moment when you're all alone and the mirror is asking questions you don't want to answer. Yeah, I've been there. We all have. This ain't about perfection. It's about getting real with yourself. Not for anybody else. Just for you. You know, there comes a point in life where you stop looking outside for somebody to come fix you. That's when everything changes. See, I used to think success was about what I could achieve: fame, money, awards. But let me tell you something personal. The deeper truth hit me when I realized none of that matters if you ain't solid on the inside. Fixing yourself doesn't start with your bank account. It starts in the dark, the quiet, the part of your life nobody claps for. I remember waking up one day and saying, "Yo, Will, are you proud of who you are when no one's watching?" That's the moment self-improvement began. You can't build an empire on a shaky foundation. You want to stand tall in this world, you got to start digging deep. No shortcuts, no blaming the past, no waiting on the world to hand you peace. You earn that every single day. And let's be real, this path is not about being the loudest in the room or having the flashiest car. It's about being able to sit in silence and feel okay with your own company. That's what real personal development looks like. You stop pretending and you start toning every piece of who you are, flaws and all. Sometimes we spend our energy trying to change the world around us, hoping our day gets better, our partner changes, our luck flips. But here's the truth: you fix yourself, and suddenly your world starts responding different. That's not magic. That's self-awareness. The universe echoes your energy. You don't chase better things. You attract them by being better within. Fixing yourself doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're evolving. Like a sculptor chipping away at the marble to reveal the masterpiece underneath. No one can do that for you. And here's the kicker: once you commit to this, life starts giving you clues. Little moments of clarity. People who show up just when you need them. But none of that happens until you get honest with yourself. And look, it's easy to keep pushing forward, keeping busy, telling yourself you're fine. But one day you'll realize that avoiding your pain doesn't heal it. Facing it does. The process hurts. The truth stings. But that sting is where the growth lives. If you want something different, you got to become someone different. And that starts with the courage to say, "I'm not waiting for change. I am the change." This journey isn't glamorous. No crowds, no spotlight. Just you and that commitment to self-improvement, one step at a time. You might cry, you might stumble, but you won't quit because something in you knows you weren't born to stay stuck. You were born to evolve, and everything you've been through wasn't punishment. It was preparation. The moment you stop pointing fingers and start taking full ownership, that's the moment your life shifts. The pain, the failures, the doubts, they all become part of your power. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. Stay with me in this video because what comes next will show you exactly why fixing yourself is the most powerful thing you'll ever do. Now, let's talk about something that's really going to hit home: accountability. You see, self-improvement isn't a solo mission, even though the most important work happens inside of you. There comes a point where you have to look around and recognize that the people you surround yourself with play a huge role in the direction you go. That's where accountability partners come in. It's crucial that you get around people who challenge you to rise. Not the ones who will let you slide when you fall short, but the ones who will hold your feet to the fire and remind you of your purpose when you lose focus. I'm not just talking about having people cheer you on. That's easy. I'm talking about the kind of people who tell you when you're slacking, when you're making excuses, when you're not showing up as your best self. Real accountability pushes you past your comfort zone. It doesn't let you settle for mediocrity. Because, let's face it, we all have those moments where it's easier to take the easy road. You wake up tired. You skip the gym. You miss a deadline. But having people around you who won't let you off the hook, that's what you need to keep progressing. Now, I want to make something clear here. Accountability isn't about shame. It's not about making you feel bad when you slip up. It's about raising your standards. It's about surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better, not because they want something from you, but because they see the potential in you that sometimes you might not even see in yourself. And that's powerful. The people around you influence your energy. They influence your mindset. If you're constantly around people who complain, who talk about how hard life is, who make excuses for their failures, guess what happens? You start doing the same thing. You start adopting that mindset without even realizing it. But if you get around people who are about growth, who are about doing the work every single day, you start thinking differently. You start moving differently. Now, accountability doesn't mean you need a whole crew. It just takes one or two people who are committed to their own growth and they want to see you succeed. Think about someone you respect, someone who's been where you want to be, someone who can guide you through the tough spots and remind you of your why. Those are the kinds of people you need in your life. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect. None of us are. But what I am saying is this: you need people who help you be better than you were yesterday. They're the ones who will push you through when it feels like the world's against you. And this goes beyond just having the right people around you. You've also got to be the right person. Are you showing up for the people in your life the way you expect them to show up for you? Are you pushing them to be better as well? Because the energy you put out there is exactly what you're going to attract. If you want the best in your life, you've got to be the best version of yourself first. Not perfect, just the best you can be in this moment. The energy you give off will bring the right people into your circle. And trust me, once you're around the right people, everything changes. They'll hold you accountable. They'll challenge you. And that's when the magic happens. But let's keep it real for a second. Even with the right people around you, there will still be moments where you want to quit. It's just part of the process. Growth isn't linear. It's not a straight line. It's up and down. It's progress and setbacks. And in those low moments, it's easy to doubt yourself. But I want you to remember something. You've been through worse. You've overcome more difficult challenges than you give yourself credit for. Every time you wanted to quit, you kept going. And that's why you're still here. You've got to stop looking at the tough moments as signs that you're not cut out for this. The hard times are a sign that you are cut out for this. They're testing you. They're shaping you. The obstacles you face today are what prepare you for the success you're going to achieve tomorrow. Every step you take, every challenge you overcome adds to your strength, adds to your character. Don't wish for an easy life. Wish for the strength to overcome whatever comes your way. And here's something I want to hit home. Success isn't about winning every time. It's about getting back up when you fall. It's about understanding that failure is a part of success. Every setback, every failure, every obstacle is a lesson in disguise. It's a chance to learn, to grow, to level up. If you're not failing, you're not growing. It's as simple as that. So, when you start feeling those moments of doubt creeping in, when you wonder if it's worth it, just remember the discomfort, the struggle, the feeling of being out of your depth. That's all part of the process. That's where the magic happens. That's where your transformation is taking place. You're in the middle of your growth. It might not look like it now, but when you look back a year from now, you'll see how far you've come. You'll see how much stronger, smarter, and more resilient you've become. And that's what makes this journey worth it. And listen, I'm not saying you won't get knocked down. You will. But when you're committed to fixing yourself, when you're serious about personal development, you get back up faster. You learn how to bounce back from adversity, and you do it stronger than before. You start seeing every challenge as an opportunity. Every setback becomes fuel for the fire that's driving you forward. So, what's the next step? Now that you've committed to this, now that you know that personal development is about taking ownership, staying accountable, and learning from every setback, what do you do next? You keep going. You keep improving. You stay consistent, and you get back to work. The game is on, my friend. You're not just talking about fixing yourself anymore. You're doing it every single day. And as you continue this journey, you'll realize one thing. It's not about where you're going. It's about who you're becoming along the way. Now let's dive deeper into the mental side of this journey. We've talked about accountability, about getting up when you fall. But there's something else that's just as important. It's your mindset. The way you think will determine how far you go in this journey of fixing yourself and pursuing personal development. You see, your mind is your greatest ally or your biggest enemy. And it's all about how you choose to view the world, your circumstances, and yourself. That's the real game. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to what happens. And I want to challenge you right now to think differently about the obstacles in your life. Every time you face a challenge, you have two choices. You can either let it break you, or you can choose to use it as a stepping stone. The power lies in your response when things get hard. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, why is this happening to me? But the true growth happens when you ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? In moments of struggle, you have the opportunity to shift your perspective and turn that struggle into something powerful. It's all about reframing the situation. Let's say you didn't get that promotion you were working so hard for. Instead of viewing it as a failure, reframe it as an opportunity to refine your skills, to go deeper, and to come back even stronger. That's how successful people think. They don't let the setback define them. They let it fuel their next move. This is where self-awareness becomes critical. You have to be aware of your thoughts, of the stories you're telling yourself. Are you telling yourself that you're not good enough? Are you playing the victim in your own life? Or are you telling yourself that no matter what, you will rise? The story you tell yourself will shape your future. If you keep telling yourself that success is hard, that is out of reach, guess what? But if you tell yourself that success is inevitable as long as you keep pushing forward, you will start to see the world shift in your favor. Mindset also plays a huge role in how you handle other people. You'll find that as you start growing and developing yourself, not everyone is going to be on board with your journey. Some people might feel threatened by your growth. Some people might try to bring you back to the old version of yourself because it's more comfortable for them. But here's the thing, you can't let other people's insecurities or fears dictate your path. When you decide to fix yourself, when you decide to step into your greatness, you have to be prepared for others to react. But that doesn't mean you stop. It means you stay focused on your mission. The truth is, some of the most successful people in the world have faced criticism and resistance. But they didn't let that stop them. Instead, they used it as motivation. Think about how many people told them their dreams were impossible. How many people doubted their abilities, but they didn't let that stop them from doing what they knew was right for them. They didn't let other people's doubts interfere with their belief in themselves. They understood that the only opinion that truly mattered was their own. Now, I want to touch on something that's a little deeper, your relationship with failure. You've heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it again because it's that important. Failure is not the enemy. In fact, failure is your best teacher. Every time you fail, you learn something new. You get a little better. you grow a little stronger. And that's why I want you to start viewing failure differently. I want you to look at failure as feedback, not defeat. I want you to ask yourself, what did I learn from this? How can I use this to get better? When you stop fearing failure, you free yourself. You free yourself to take risks. You free yourself to be bold. And that's when you start seeing real progress. Now, this idea of failure being feedback is a game changer. It changes the whole way you approach challenges. Because when you're not afraid of failure, you start taking action. You start experimenting. You start trying new things without the fear of falling short. You begin to understand that the worst thing that can happen is not failure, it's not trying at all. It's letting fear keep you stuck in the same place. And here's the beauty of it: when you embrace failure, it doesn't become personal. It doesn't become a reflection of who you are as a person. It's simply a part of the journey, a necessary part of the process. And when you start seeing it that way, you begin to welcome it. You start saying, okay, I failed. Now, what can I learn from this and how can I do it better next time? That mindset shift will change your life. When it doesn't stop there, the next step in fixing yourself is being willing to take responsibility for everything in your life. I mean, everything. You have to take responsibility for your successes and your failures. You can't blame your circumstances or upbringing or other people for where you are today. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, everything changes. Because when you take responsibility, you take control. You stop being at the mercy of life's circumstances, and you become the creator of your own reality. Think about it. If you're blaming your circumstances, you're giving away your power. But when you take responsibility, you step into your power. You understand that you are the one who controls your destiny. It's a tough pill to swallow sometimes, but the moment you accept full responsibility is the moment you truly start changing your life. And let me tell you, this isn't about being perfect. This isn't about having all the answers. It's about being committed to growth. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and taking ownership of your choices. It's about not making excuses. And when you do this, you begin to see your world change. You begin to see the fruits of your labor. Not because it's easy, but because you've made a choice to keep going no matter what. At this point, I want you to start thinking about what you're really after. What do you want out of life? I mean, what's the big picture for you? So many people go through life without ever really answering that question. They get stuck in the grind of daily tasks, responding to the demands of others, checking off boxes. And at the end of the day, they wonder, is this all there is? But when you get clear on what you really want, everything shifts. Your actions align with your vision. You become intentional in every decision you make, and your daily habits start to serve your ultimate goals. Now, I'm not talking about some far-off, vague idea of success. I'm talking about a clear, actionable vision. Something you can visualize in your mind's eye every day. When you have that kind of clarity, nothing can distract you. The noise of the world becomes background music because you're focused on your purpose. You're no longer reacting to life, you're creating it. One of the biggest things I've learned on my journey is that success doesn't happen by accident. Success happens when you decide, and I mean really decide, what you want and then commit to it. You can't sit around waiting for things to fall into place. You've got to be proactive. You've got to go after what you want every single day, even when it's tough. Even when the odds are stacked against you. That's when you know you're on the right track, when you can look at your life and say, I've given everything I've got to this. I've put in the work. And let's talk about that work for a moment. Success doesn't come from doing the minimum. It comes from pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. It comes from being willing to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it. even when you're tired, even when you're frustrated. It's easy to get motivated when things are going well, but what separates the truly successful from the rest is the ability to stay consistent when things are hard. It's easy to get distracted by short-term pleasure. It's easy to want the quick fix, but those quick fixes don't lead to lasting success. It's the long, slow grind that pays off in the end. It's the work you put in when no one is watching. It's the discipline you develop when you make the choice to show up every single day, even when it feels like nothing is happening. That's what success looks like. It's not flashy. It's not immediate. But over time, those small daily choices compound into something incredible. And here's the thing. You're never going to be fully ready. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. You'll never feel 100 ready for the next step. But you've got to take it anyway. You've got to trust in yourself, even when you don't have all the answers. Confidence doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from taking action in spite of your doubts. It comes from learning as you go, making mistakes, and adjusting your course along the way. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. It will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a moment where everything aligns perfectly, where you have all the resources and everything is smooth. Success comes from doing the work even when conditions aren't ideal. It's about taking that imperfect step and adjusting as you go. The moment you make that commitment, your whole world changes. You stop being a spectator in your life and become the creator of your destiny. I want to make something clear here. Success is not just about financial wealth or material possessions. Those things are great, but true success comes from fulfillment. It comes from knowing that you are living a life that aligns with your values, that you are on the path that's right for you. It comes from the peace of mind that you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. And that's why personal development is so powerful, because it's not just about getting better at your job or increasing your income. It's about getting better at being you. It's about understanding who you are at the deepest level, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and using that knowledge to show up as your best self every single day. This journey of fixing yourself, this journey of personal development is not a what-I'm thing. It's ongoing. It's a lifelong commitment to growth. And I'm telling you, it's worth every single second of effort. It's worth the sacrifices. It's worth the struggle. Because when you start to grow, when you start to level up, your whole life starts to shift. You attract better opportunities, better people, and better circumstances. But most importantly, you become a better version of yourself. And that's the ultimate goal. Now, I want to bring this back to something very important: self-awareness. Self-awareness, we've talked about it before, but it's worth mentioning again because it's the foundation of everything we've discussed. Without self-awareness, you can't fix yourself. Without knowing who you are, what you want, and what drives you, you're just reacting to life instead of creating it. So how do you develop that self-awareness? It starts with being brutally honest with yourself. And no more pretending. No more making excuses. No more blaming others for your situation. Look at your life with clear eyes and ask yourself, what do I really want? And then ask, am I willing to do what it takes to get there? Don't sugarcoat it. Don't lie to yourself. Be honest even when it's uncomfortable, because the truth is, you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. And if you're willing to do the work to understand yourself, to understand your habits, your motivations, and your patterns, you will unlock the power to change your life. But self-awareness isn't just about identifying what's wrong. It's also about recognizing your strengths. It's about understanding what makes you unique, what you bring to the table that no one else can. Once you truly understand your strengths and weaknesses, you can start leveraging them to your advantage. you can start playing to your strengths and working on your weaknesses instead of letting them hold you back. Now, here's the part where you have to take ownership, because no one can do this for you. I can't do this for you. Your family can't do it for you. You are the one who must take responsibility for your own growth. The decision to fix yourself, to level up, to become the best version of yourself is yours and yours alone. No one can make that decision for you, but I promise you, when you make it, everything starts to change. Now that we've discussed the power of self-awareness, accountability, and taking responsibility for your own life, let's talk about consistency. If you want to fix yourself, if you want to make lasting change, you need to understand that consistency is the key to it all. Success doesn't come from a single big moment. It comes from showing up day after day, putting in the work, and doing the little things that others might overlook. The world will reward consistency. There's this misconception that people who are successful are somehow different from the rest of us, that they have some sort of magic formula that we don't. But that's not true. What they have is discipline. They have the ability to keep going when things get hard, when they don't feel like it, when they'd rather take a break. They've built the habit of showing up even when the world is telling them to stop. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it works. You have to develop that same discipline if you want to level up. It's not about doing something great once in a while, it's about doing it every single day. It's the commitment to improving, even if it's just by a little bit, every single day. That's what will make a difference. That's what will separate you from the people who are stuck. And that's where true growth happens. Let me tell you something, if you really want to fix yourself and reach the next level, you're going to have to be okay with putting in the work, even when it feels like no one is watching. Because the reality is, most of the time, no one is going to be applauding you. No one is going to be there to celebrate every small victory. But that's okay, because the only person you need to impress is yourself. And the only reward you need is knowing that you're showing up, putting in the effort, and becoming better every day. Consistency also means making tough decisions. It means doing what's necessary, not just what's easy. In order to fix yourself, you have to be willing to sacrifice the things that are holding you back, the habits that are stopping you from becoming who you really want to be. You have to be willing to let go of the distractions. Let go of the negative influences. Let go of the bad habits that have kept you comfortable but not growing. Take a hard look at your life right now. What are the things that are stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself? What are the habits that are keeping you stuck? Maybe it's the late night scrolling on your phone. Maybe it's procrastinating. Maybe it's letting the opinions of others hold you back. Whatever it is, you need to be honest with yourself. Are those things serving your growth? Are they helping you become the person you want to be? If the answer is no, then it's time to make a change. This isn't about being perfect. You don't need to be perfect to make progress, but you do need to be consistent. You do need to show up, even when it's hard. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when you're tired. The small actions you take every day are what will compound and lead you to the success you're looking for. Don't underestimate the power of daily effort. Now, let's talk about the importance of the people you surround yourself with. Your environment is everything when it comes to personal development. The people you spend the most time with are either helping you grow or holding you back. If you want to fix yourself, you need to start being very intentional about who you let into your inner circle. Look around you. Who's supporting you? Who's challenging you to be better? Who's inspiring you to go after your dreams? On the flip side, who's dragging you down? Who's telling you that your dreams are too big, that you're wasting your time, or that you can't do it? You need to be aware of who you're spending time with, because the people around you will influence your mindset. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, and excuses, you'll start to absorb that energy, and it'll show up in your actions. But if you surround yourself with people who are committed to growth, who challenge you, who support you, you'll be forced to level up. You'll be pushed to be better because the energy around you will be aligned with your vision. The company you keep has a direct impact on the person you become. So if you want to fix yourself, take a hard look at your relationships. Are the people around you pushing you to become your best self? Are they encouraging you to chase your goals and supporting you on your journey? Or are they holding you back with their negativity, their fear, or their lack of ambition? If the latter is true, it may be time to reevaluate those relationships. Now, this doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life, but it does mean you need to start being more intentional with your time. It means setting boundaries and creating space for the people who align with your goals. It means finding mentors, coaches, and like-minded individuals who will elevate you, who will help you stay on track, and who will push you to be better. Your environment can either be a catalyst for your growth, or it can be a roadblock. The choice is yours. And don't forget about the relationship you have with yourself. The way you talk to yourself, the way you view yourself, has a massive impact on your growth. You can't be your own worst critic. You can't keep beating yourself up for every mistake or every misstep. You have to develop a healthy self-image. You have to be kind to yourself even when you mess up. It's about understanding that you are a work in progress, and that's okay. Progress doesn't happen overnight. It happens step by step, decision by decision, and it happens with patience and self-compassion. But that doesn't mean you let yourself off the hook. It just means that you don't let one mistake derail your progress. When you mess up, when you fall short, don't dwell on it. Learn from it, adjust, and keep going. Understand that failure is not the end. It's just part of the process. It's part of the journey. Every successful person has failed countless times. The difference is they didn't quit. They got up. They kept going. And that's what you need to do too. So be kind to yourself. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. And when you stumble, get up, learn, and keep moving forward. It's all part of the journey to fixing yourself, to becoming the best version of who you're meant to be. Now that we've addressed discipline, consistency, and the people you surround yourself with, it's time to talk about one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal when it comes to personal development, your mindset. If you want to fix yourself and transform your life, your mindset is where it starts. Everything flows from your mind. Your thoughts create your reality. So, if you want to change your life, you have to first change the way you think. This might sound like a simple concept, but it's not always easy to practice. The way you view the world, yourself, and the challenges you face will determine how you react to them. If you have a mindset that's rooted in fear, self-doubt, or negativity, every obstacle will feel like an insurmountable challenge. But if you have a mindset that's grounded in positivity, possibility, and growth, every obstacle becomes an opportunity to learn and grow. The first step to cultivating a growth mindset is to let go of limiting beliefs. You know those thoughts that say, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, or I'll never be able to do that. Those thoughts are the enemy of your success. They keep you small. They keep you stuck. And if you continue to listen to them, they will control your life. But here's the truth, those beliefs aren't real. They're just stories you've been telling yourself for years, and they have no power over you unless you give it to them. So how do you let go of these limiting beliefs? The first step is awareness. You have to become conscious of the thoughts you're having. Start paying attention to the negative self-talk, the moments when you doubt yourself, and the stories you tell yourself about what you can and cannot do. Once you're aware of those thoughts, you can challenge them. You can ask yourself, is this really true? Is this belief serving me? Or is it just holding me back? Now I know what you're thinking. It's not that easy. It's hard to change the way I think. You're right, it's not easy, but it's possible. And it starts with small, consistent changes. Every time you catch yourself thinking negatively, consciously choose to reframe it. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, replace it with, I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm going to keep working at it. Instead of thinking, this is too hard, replace it with, this is a challenge I can learn from. With practice, you'll start to shift your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. But it doesn't stop there. You also need to cultivate a mindset of resilience. Life will throw curveballs at you. You will face setbacks, failures, and obstacles. But what truly defines successful people is how they respond to adversity. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about how you handle it when it comes. Do you quit? Do you give up? Or do you use it as fuel to come back stronger? Resilience is about bouncing back from failure, learning from it, and not letting it define you. It's about understanding that setbacks are a part of the journey, not the end of it. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. You can't have success without failure. So when you face failure, don't see it as a defeat. See it as a lesson, as a stepping stone toward where you want to go. Another aspect of mindset that's crucial is the power of belief. Belief in yourself, belief in your abilities, and belief in the process. If you don't believe that you're capable of achieving your goals, you won't take the necessary actions to reach them. Belief is the foundation that supports everything you do. Without it, all the hard work, all the effort, and all the discipline in the world won't be enough. You need to believe that you can succeed, even when things aren't going your way. You need to believe in your own potential, but belief isn't just something you think about, it's something you embody. You can't just say you believe in yourself and expect things to change. You have to show up every day as if you already believe in yourself. You have to walk, talk, and act like the person you want to become. When you carry yourself with belief, it's contagious. Others will believe in you too. And more importantly, you'll start to believe in yourself in a deeper, more authentic way. The key to shifting your mindset is to be intentional about it. You can't just leave it to chance. You have to make a conscious effort every day to rewire your brain for success. You have to practice gratitude, practice positivity, and practice growth. Surround yourself with positive influences, consume content that inspires you, and continuously remind yourself of your potential. The more you do this, the more you'll start to reprogram your brain for success. Another powerful way to strengthen your mindset is to visualize your success. Visualization is a tool that athletes, successful entrepreneurs, and high performers have used for decades to achieve their goals. It's about seeing your success in your mind's eye before it even happens. Visualizing the outcome you want, the actions you need to take, and the person you need to become to get there. When you visualize, you create a mental blueprint for success. You set your mind up for the actions you need to take. And over time, that vision becomes clearer, more real, and more achievable. But the key to visualization is not just about seeing the end result, it's about seeing the process. It's about imagining the daily grind, the hard work, challenges you'll face, and how you'll overcome them. It's about visualizing yourself as a person who never quits, who keeps pushing forward no matter what, who keeps moving toward that vision every single day. The more you see that person in your mind, the easier it becomes to step into that role in real life. So, what can you do today to start shifting your mindset? Start by identifying those limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Challenge them. Replace them with thoughts that empower you. Cultivate resilience by reframing failure as an opportunity. Believe in yourself, not just with words, but with actions. And make sure that every day you're doing something that strengthens your mindset, whether it's through reading, journaling, meditating, or simply surrounding yourself with positivity. Remember, your mindset is the foundation of everything you do. If you want to fix yourself, if you want to improve your life, you need to start with your mind. And once you shift your mindset, everything else will follow. We've covered so much already: how to be self-aware, how to take responsibility, how to build consistency, the power of your mindset, and how to overcome the obstacles in your path. But now I want to talk about something that ties it all together: action. If you truly want to fix yourself, if you want to make real change in your life, it's not enough to just think about it or talk about it or even plan for it. You need to take action. Big, bold, deliberate action every single day. No excuses. You've probably heard the phrase, talk is cheap. And it's true. Anybody can talk about their dreams, their goals, their desires. Anybody can say, I want to be successful, or I want to change my life. But the real difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is the ability to take consistent, committed action toward those goals. Dreams don't work unless you do. You can have the best ideas in the world, the most ambitious plans, but if you're not putting in the work, nothing's going to happen. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of what success looks like, and we often think that we need to take big, life-changing leaps to make progress. But let me tell you something, it's the small, everyday actions that add up. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to show up every day, ready to take one small step in the right direction, and those steps over time will lead you to the big breakthroughs. But don't get complacent. It's easy to get stuck in the planning phase, to keep thinking, I'm just waiting for the right moment, or I'm going to start tomorrow. But let me tell you, there is no right moment. There is no perfect time to start. The time is now. If you wait for everything to line up perfectly, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, the perfect time to start is when you decide to do it. And it's never too late to begin. You can start right now in this moment with whatever you have. Think about the people who've made massive changes in their lives. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for things to be perfect. They just took action. They started where they were with what they had, and they figured it out along the way. And that's exactly what you need to do. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to take the first step. But here's the thing, action isn't just about doing the easy things. It's about doing the hard things too. It's about facing your fears, confronting your doubts, and pushing through the moments when you feel like giving up. It's about doing the work even when you don't feel like it. Because let me tell you, the path to success is never a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and bumps along the way. And there will be times when you feel like you're making no progress at all. But that's when your commitment to action will make all the difference. You see, most people quit too soon. They start strong, but when they face a challenge, when things get hard, they give up. And that's why they never reach their full potential. But the people who really succeed are the ones who refuse to quit. They push through the hard times. They keep going, even when it feels impossible. And that's why they eventually break through. So, what does this mean for you? It means that when things get tough, and they will, it's your ability to keep moving forward that will determine your success. It's your ability to keep taking action, even when you're exhausted, when you're frustrated, when you're doubting yourself. You're going to face challenges. You're going to experience setbacks. But as long as you keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps, you will get closer to your goals. You will get closer to the person you want to become. But here's the thing, action is not just about physical effort. It's about mental effort too. Every action you take should be intentional, aligned with your goals, and connected to the bigger picture. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. What's your purpose? What's driving you? You have to have a clear vision of where you're headed and why it matters. Otherwise, you'll find yourself lost, distracted, and unmotivated. I want you to think about your goals right now. Really think about them. What do you want to achieve in your life? What's your vision for the future? Now ask yourself, are you taking the actions that will get you there? Are your actions aligned with your goals? If not, it's time to make a change. It's time to realign yourself with your purpose and get back on track. One of the most powerful things you can do is to develop a habit of taking daily action toward your goals. And that starts with setting small, achievable steps. If your goal is to lose weight, don't focus on losing 20 pounds right away. Focus on taking the first step. Maybe that's going for a walk or eating a healthier meal. If your goal is to build a business, don't think about becoming a millionaire tomorrow. Focus on making your first sale or developing your product or creating your website. Every little action you take brings you closer to your goal. But don't just take action randomly. Be intentional. Be strategic. Know what your next step is and make sure it's moving you closer to the bigger picture. And remember, no action is too small. Whether you're working on your fitness, your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, every action counts. And as you start taking consistent, intentional action, you'll notice something incredible happening: momentum. Momentum is a powerful force. It's when the small actions you take start to compound and create bigger results. At first, it may feel like you're not making much progress, but over time, those small actions will build on each other, and suddenly you'll look back and realize how far you've come. But I want to warn you about something. When you start taking action, when you start making progress, there will be people who will try to hold you back. There will be people who don't understand your vision, who don't support your goals, or who want to keep you stuck. But don't let them stop you. Don't let their doubts, their negativity, or their fear hold you back from your potential. Keep moving forward. Keep taking action. You're doing this for you, not for anyone else. And here's the final piece of the puzzle. Don't forget to celebrate your progress. It's easy to get caught up in the end goal and forget to acknowledge the small wins along the way. But every step you take, every action you make is progress. Celebrate it, appreciate it, recognize how far you've come, and use that celebration as fuel to keep going. At the end of the day, fixing yourself is a lifelong journey. There will always be something new to learn, something new to improve, and another level to reach. But as long as you continue to take action, intentional, consistent, and committed action, you will keep moving forward. And every day, you'll get closer to the person you're meant to be. So keep taking action. Stay committed. And remember, this is your journey. You have everything you need to succeed. It's time to make the decision. Take the first step and create the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, this is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Every day is an opportunity to improve, to take action, and to move closer to the person you're meant to become. So make the decision today to start fixing yourself, to start taking action, and to start living the life you deserve. And remember, this journey doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. Keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep taking action. We are Wisdom Recorder, your knowledge source. Subscribe and like for more content that will inspire, empower, and help you unlock your full potential.